just think about, how is my breath? How does my body feel? Can I do this? Can I hold this? Whatever those little thoughts are, those are okay, but thinking about what you have to do as soon as class is over or the rest of the week, try to not let that stuff creep in. All right, so if you feel ready, you can go ahead now and bend the knees and lift those hips up and move them away from the shoulders a little bit. Should feel natural, right? We have that little curve in the back, but we don't want to have, we want our spine to feel long. And then move the shoulders apart. So we're broadening across the front of the chest. That's a hard area for a lot of us to hold open. Nice long neck. Heels are lined up with the center of the glutes, right? Toes, make sure they point straight ahead, not toward each other, and settle into that, see how it feels. Stay focused on the breathing, and then when everything's feeling pretty good, we're just gonna bring those arms right next to us, palms are down. Slide the fingers as far out as you can, but then let the arms relax. We're not holding them stiff here. Your inhalations and exhalations should be about the same length. All right, on that next inhale, if you're ready, you're gonna bring the arms off the mat, and they're just gonna reach as far back over the head as we can on that breath in. As soon as you begin your exhalation, you're gonna bring them back down. Now, since I'm talking, my breathing's gonna be a little bit different than yours, but try to fully inhale as you reach overhead. And fully exhale as the arms come back down, and even again, feeling that complete exhalation into the belly. So we're just gonna keep that going. Arms go over the head on the inhale. We're going to start working lower body into it. If you're ready, you can join. Exhale, right knee in. Just a little pull here. As soon as you need to take a breath, you bring the foot down, arms go overhead again. Exhale, left knee in. And just alternating that. And notice, where do you feel it? Like today, I'm feeling mine, rather than the hamstrings where I normally do, more in my lower back. Like, that the back of the pelvis, that's that really hard, bony plate. I'm feeling it all there. So I'm thinking I'm gonna be a little bit more aware of that when I stand up and start going into forward bends again. So just alternating each time on we're exhaling. All right, let's just do one more right and left. And again, if you're in a different, sequence than me, you're not at the same point, just even everything out. Don't ever rush to get caught up. All right, so let's bring that right knee in now, and we're just gonna hold it in. Taking the hands somewhere, maybe a little bit lower on the leg or behind the leg, and just kind of bringing that knee up, and then open it out a little bit. So keeping it up toward the chest, and I'm just kind of taking it away from the midline. Seeing how that inner thigh feels. Move slowly. I like to keep my hand here for support. You don't have to, but I like to just know that I've got that hand ready in case I get into something that feels a little bit uncomfortable. All right, so after you've gone out and in a few times, if you're ready, you can start to move that knee around. It can be a full circle or it can be a half circle if you don't want to cross the midline. But again, just kind of starting to move that and feel what that feels like up in the right hip. Hope it feels good. Okay, go a few times. I don't mean a few 3, I mean a few 7 or 8. And then circle the other way. All right, so to get our bodies ready for this balancing that we're going to work on today, we're gonna start by taking the foot up. Well, let's warm up the foot and ankle a little bit. Point and flex. Extend that leg up. Now right now we don't have to have our knee straight, but when we mimic the movements that we're gonna do when we're standing, I'm gonna have you try to straighten the knee a little bit more. But right now, again, just point and flex, and then just move that ankle. Circle it around, again, a few times. One way, and then the other way. And then just extending a little bit more. Maybe you wanna bend and straighten the knee a few times, preparing for that leg to extend. But this time when you extend it up, I want you to push the foot away from you, like as if you were standing on it. I want you to feel that kind of energy. Normally we're just kind of relaxed here. We're trying to get into a deeper stretch, but I want you to press the heel away. Now the leg can always have a little micro bend down it, and even if we're standing on it, we can have a little micro bend in the knee, but trying to balance when the knee is more bent like this is much harder. So that's what we're just trying to do here. We're taking that foot up. Now I want you to bend at the knee again and try to maybe hold that leg at about a 45-degree angle and stretch your left leg out. Not quite on the center of the mat. Press that left foot out. And the same thing, I want you to push the heel away like you're standing on it. And then this leg, I still have my foot somewhat flexed. I have my knee kind of in line with my hip. See how that feels. I'm going to try to mimic that when we stand up. So in order to balance, we would want to really contract the abdominals here. So if I'm standing, I would either have my hands under my leg like that, or I can always use my strap here if I have a hard time getting the hands down there. And when you stand up, you may not have the leg, the knee at the same height as the hip. You might have to go a little bit lower. But this is what we're going to start with today. Not leg extended, but just here. And then later when we're balancing in that warrior three, it will be this kind of a position, but if somebody just came and flipped you completely upside down, the same position, and then you would have your arm alongside you or out to the side. All right, so let's go ahead and bring both knees in, roll your back a little bit, and we'll do the whole left side. So we want to start out when the feet are on the mat and the knees are bent and everything is in that same bent knee position. And we're going to take the arms up and inhale. And now exhale, pull the left knee in. Give that a little time to stretch here. All right, we're going to do the hip first. So you're going to kind of move that left knee away from you and then back in. Again, you don't have to cross the midline, you can. But I'm just going out and in. Again, this is just to warm up. Let that inner thigh stretch. Let's get some blood flow in there. Out and in a few times. Try to keep the pelvis on the mat. Mine lifts up sometimes a little bit. I still don't have that great range of motion on the left yet. So again, once we've done that in and out a little bit, now we're going to circle. Knee up and away and back in. And again, using the hands if you need it. If not, move the leg on its own. Take your time here. All right, again, 7, 8, 10, however fast you move. You want to go the other way, exactly the same. Good, all right. So now that that hip feels a little bit better, we're going to extend the foot up and flex and point. Remember, knee doesn't have to be straight yet. Let's just go ahead and work the foot and ankle.
So I'm going to want them to come down for one of them. It's like we have one at UCSD also. So I figure if
Good.
you can do one of them.
Yeah, move into ankle circles when you're ready. And go the other way. Anybody else feel like it's easier to circle one way than the other? Maybe it's just me. All right. So again, bend and extend a few times and just see how your knee feels.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of.
And then we're gonna press that foot up,
Also,
almost straightening the knee. You can completely straighten it. There's a difference between having it straight and locked. For some of us that are more flexible, it almost feels like your knee is going backwards. Mine isn't quite like that, but I can definitely feel a difference when I lock it a little too tight. Then just soften it up. It doesn't even look like it's bent, but it's not completely locked either. All right, so pushing that heel up.
oh, you did, okay.
Same thing, we want to kind of feel what it would feel like if we were standing on that leg. And then we're going to bend it at about 90. So kind of just keeping the lower leg more parallel to the mat, and this right leg stretches out. So now I want you to push your right foot away from you like you're standing on it.
Yeah, why don't we have you do that?
Tighten up that core. You can see what it feels like to extend the leg up. But when we're balancing on the straight leg, we're going to try to have this one at about 90. Same thing. Remember, you can use that strap or towel if you can't get the hands under there. So this will be our balance today. And then when we are making our way down to the mat, we're going to come into that warrior three. So this is our warrior three position, right? Standing on the top foot here, back leg extended. Ideally, we would have it at about the same level as our shoulders, right? And this is where we would bring our arms alongside the body. We'd be lifting our chest a little bit in the front, right? And then we can also take those arms straight out. All right, and then let's just bring the knees back in, roll it a little bit. Now, we're going to come up to hands and knees, so if you want to roll to your side and use hands to bring yourself up, you can do that, or a little bit of momentum here. Same thing. And let's get everything ready to go. So bring your blocks a little closer because we will be getting into forward bends in a few minutes. Because I have to get my hair back out of the way, get your water bottle, anything that you think is going to make it easier. And also have the strap nearby, even if you're going to go to the wall for balancing, because we just don't want to have to scramble around for something once we're ready to go. So hands and knees under the shoulders and hips, and just align that, long arms, deep breath in, feel the belly still expanding. Now exhale, we're going right into cat pose today. Arch it up, let the head drop. Inhale, cow pose. We're going to lift that tailbone and the heart. Exhale, cat pose, or sorry, cat pose. Oi, 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 cow pose, cat pose. So make your way from one to the other. All right. Come back to all fours. Check to make sure your weight is evenly distributed between those 4 points, going into opposite arm and leg lift. When you're ready, one arm up, opposite leg back, inhale. Exhale, lower them. When you're ready to inhale, other side. And exhale, lower. So I want you to keep going with that while I talk a little bit. So when we're lifting that arm and leg, we're not lifting them high, we're lifting them at shoulder and hip level, but we're really working on that extension feeling, right? So really reach those fingertips forward, pushing that heel away from you, pulling the belly tight, but keeping everything long, and really trying to get the best balance that we can, so we're not wobbling and wiggling around here. Keep going. If you fall like that, just set it up again. All right. Do one more so you even it out on both sides. All right, come back to hands and knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale. exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale just to all fours, straight back. Exhale, downward dog. Starting from here, toes under, hips up. Stretch it back. This might feel shorter than what you normally do, but that's okay because we want to work each part of the body before we go a little deeper. So we're going to start out letting one heel come up as the other heel moves to the mat, and hold it there a breath or two. And then shift it over. Other heel pushes down, other heel lifts up. Now, you can tell what it feels like to push that heel down, but on the other foot, I want you to really push the heel high or lift the heel high and put your weight into all those 5 toes and try to have it even so you don't roll the pinky toe or the big toe. Try the other side. Same thing, lift that heel. Stretch the toes, put weight into it. Do each one more time. All right, move both heels toward the mat. Take a breath in here and exhale. One more inhale. One more exhale. And now inhale, bring the knees toward the mat. Exhale into child's pose. Any variation that you like. Have your props nearby if you need a blanket or block for part of that. Okay. All right. Let's go through a little bit of a flow here before we make it to the front of our mat. We'll start basic. Remember, you can always push it a little bit, and whenever you're ready, if you want to take it up to that next level, getting into your upward dogs and all of that, but feel free to keep it real basic. Walk the arms a little more forward this time. Come to your downward dog again. Really stretch the sides of the body. Lift those hips up and back. And then we're going to inhale as we come to our plank. Exhale and lower. Now elbows are going to stay really close to the body here. Inhale, cobra, move forward and then up as you lift the chest. Elbows back. Exhale, child's pose. 3 breaths here. Arms can come in or they can stay forward. All right, coming to our downward dog again. Now I want you to get into that downward dog. I want you to take your right hand and reach toward your left foot. See if you can do that 3-legged dog for a minute. Not a minute, a few seconds. Back to downward dog. Take the left hand, reach it down and toward that right foot. And back to full downward dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, plank. Flow through your sequence however you like. We're going to do one more little add-on when we get into that downward dog again, so come on up when you're ready. All right. Bring one foot up, push that heel back. Same thing as if you're standing on it. You can lift the leg higher, but you want to keep the hips even with each other. And then slowly bring that leg back down. Inhale, exhale here. And when you're ready, other foot up. Again, as soon as you lift it up, you're pushing that heel away from you, lifting a little higher if you like, but not shifting the hips. All right, bring it back down. Inhale, exhale. And go through your flow one more time. Once we finish this one, we'll be coming to the top of our mat. Again, take longer to rest if you need it, and join us when you're ready. Now you can take 2 giant steps, 20 little steps, or anything in between, whatever you need to do to get into that forward bend. All right. Hands can be on the floor or blocks, whatever height works for you. Just hang here and see how that feels. Maybe you want the knees to be a little bit bent here. Maybe you need to bring the hips a little more forward, really getting in that deeper hamstring stretch. Grab your opposite elbows. I want you to be here for 3 more breaths before we come up. Let gravity just pull you down. Now to come up, we're going to tighten the belly and roll it up. So the head, the very last thing to come up. Take your time. Shoulders up and back. What the heck is that? It's crazy. Okay, roll the shoulders up and back. And you want to feel like somebody is just kind of pulling you almost off your heels. Feel that type of elevation and lift through the body. Shoulders back. Move the hands a little bit. Circle the wrists. We were putting a lot of weight onto those wrists and hands. All right, now, keep that chest open and heart lifted. Tuck the pelvis so that the tailbone points straight down. You don't have that little arch in the back, which I have with it if I don't think about it. Chin's gonna come forward. We're gonna do a little half circle. So I'm gonna inhale as my chin draws up to the right. Exhale as I lower it. Inhale, draw it up to the left shoulder. And exhale, lower. So go through those two. One shoulder to the other. All right. After you've done it evenly, come back to the center. Inhale, eyes forward, roll the shoulders up and back. Arms up, inhale, exhale, forward bend. Let's start by just bringing the hands through, making our way into that forward bend. Head's gonna drop all the way down. Now inhale, lift halfway, so use those blocks or the shin bones, but whatever you're pressing into, you want it to help you extend the back. You shouldn't have any roundness happening here. If you've got the blocks too far forward, that's gonna happen. So really try to have the blocks here so you can pull those shoulders apart. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your heart. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, you can roll it back up. You can extend the back. All of those options are always available to you. You know what feels good, what works for you. Let's go again, arms up. You can dive over. You ready for that? Inhale, lift halfway, extend. Now, really lead that heart forward. Exhale, forward bend. Walk back to your plank or hop it back if you're ready for that. Inhaling as you arrive, exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Now, if you want to go into that upward dog and you can't control halfway and then switch into it, bring the hands back a little bit. Lift up and back. Press all the way up onto those hands. Get those hips off the mat. And then see if you can get the knees up. Push the hips forward and down, lift your heart. You can go to child's pose or right into your downward dog here. Walk your feet back to the top of the mat. Come to your forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. You know, you've been doing yoga for a long time, as you all have. Personalize it. What feels the best to you? And it's going to vary from time to time, week to week. But really try to add some poses in or some little bits of it that make it feel really good for you today, whatever that is. Here we go, arms up. Forward bend. Halfway lift. Now, while we're here, can you move those hands away from supporting you and maintain your back? Try that, take a breath in. Exhale, forward bend. Back to your plank again. Inhaling as soon as you get there. Exhale, lower. Maybe you want to go halfway down and into that upward dog or all the way down into your cobra. Exhale. Exhale, downward dog or child's pose. I'm not going to say every option every time because I know at this point you're probably choosing the ones that you're wanting to practice today. All right, come back to the top of your mat, forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, mountain pose. Now, we're going to start working on getting our bodies ready for that warrior 3 balance later. So have your blocks ready if you need them, because if you're always having hands on the legs, it's hard to balance that way. Having external support is really helpful. So let's give it a try. Arms up. Forward bend, dive over. Halfway lift. Now, hands are somewhere. Maybe you get them on the floor, that's great, but if not, press into those blocks. Bring one leg up. And bring it back down. Make sure that upper body's still in your halfway lift. Other leg up. Not changing the hip at all. Bring that foot down. Exhale into forward bend and relax. All right, inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale to mountain pose. One more time. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring the arms away. Try to balance. Maintain that straight back. Bring the hands back to the blocks. Try one leg up. Remember, the knee can be a little bit bent, not bent too much. Try to lift the upper body more in line with the lower, or with the leg. Bring it back down. If you need to reset that upper body, do that first. Other leg up. Bring that foot down. Take a breath in. Exhale, forward bend. Now, if you want to step back to your plank, go through that flow again, feel free to do that. If you want to just get into downward dog, do that. I'm just going to walk my feet back a little bit, come into my downward dog. Whenever you reach your downward dog, you're going to be there for 3 full breath cycles. Now you step your right foot forward and bring that left knee to the mat. Come into a kneeling lunge. Grab your blocks if you need them. As you come upright, shift the hips forward. We want to really increase that stretch in front of our left hip. Tighten up, lift up, arms up, shoulders down. Now if you're a little wobbly, you can always use blocks here. You can always keep your hands on that right leg. All right, bring the hands down. All I want you to do is pick up that back knee and come into a high lunge, directly from the low lunge. Even if you have to bring the foot in quite a bit, that's okay. I want you to start somewhere. If this is one that you had a hard time with. We still have our hips forward. We have the back foot not angled like a warrior foot, right? We have the heel pressing straight back, but we just are on the ball of the left foot. The whole right foot, arms up, shoulders down. Keep lifting that chest up. If you're going lower, make sure the knee goes forward and out. It doesn't go inward. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist to the right. So rotate that body around. Reach the left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale back to the front. Now exhale into your warrior 2 right away. Get that front heel a little more lined up, and now that back foot is angled. Not completely parallel. Probably have the heel back just a little bit from the toes. Look over that right hand. Side angle pose. Take that left arm up or extend it over the left ear. Really feeling this stretch. Really emphasize pushing that left foot into the mat, that outside edge. Inhale back to warrior 2. Reverse warrior, right arm up.
to warrior two. We're gonna go into that a second time. So this time I want you to take this left arm and wrap it behind you. Half bind if you can to that right hip crease, and really see how much you can open your chest to the side of your mat. If you can keep that half bind as you come up and bring that right arm up and back. If it's not comfortable, drop the hand here. Back to warrior two. Now, from here, turn to warrior one. Square it up. Now, what I want you to think about, even if you have to scooch the foot in to do it, tighten up through the middle. I want you to think about bringing your hands to your hips, bringing this left foot from the back to just lifting it in front a little bit. Now, if that was a big jump for you, if that was a bit much, then what I want you to do is go from warrior one, line the feet up in mountain pose, and then just lift that left foot up off the mat. Feel that the hips are pretty even. Hands can go to that leg if you like. If you know you're going to need your strap, grab it, try your warrior one, step it in, see if you can get that strap under the knee, under the thigh. All we're trying to do is practice that balance with the knee up. Now, I'm not going to go higher than the hip, definitely. I'm going to keep it at hip level or lower. If this is feeling pretty good, I can extend the leg. I can hold on and extend the leg. I can strap it. Whoops. From looping the foot to extending. For those real flexible, maybe you can have the hand and foot. I can't quite do that. But, so we go to that balance. And then we're just gonna bring it back in. Find your mountain pose, roll the shoulders back. Bring the chin forward, roll the neck out a little bit. I'm gonna switch around to the other side. Get ready for that. If you do that, if you move somewhere because you're trying to see better, take anything with you that you're gonna need. All right. Getting warm. All right, so when you are ready, we're gonna start the same way. We're gonna start in our mountain pose. Take the arms up, big inhale here. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend. Hand to the mat. You can step back to plank, go through your series if you like. If you want to just take a few steps back, you can meet me in downward dog. Whenever you get to downward dog, I want you to be there 3 breath cycles. That doesn't count the one that got you there, all right? All right, we're gonna start by bringing that left foot forward, dropping the right knee, coming to our kneeling lunge again. So take some time to set it up, moving the hips forward, lifting the chest, arms up, shoulders down. All right, bringing the hands to the mat. Bring that back knee up. Come up to your balancing lunge, high lunge, crescent moon lunge, however you think of it. Getting lower if you like, feet closer. Make sure it's gonna work for you because we are adding that twist, remember? So we gotta make sure we're really steady wherever we choose to be. Steady yourself, find your breathing again. Inhale here, exhale, twist. Extend that right arm forward, left arm back, trying to turn your shoulders to that other side of your mat. Inhale back to the front. Now, exhale with you open to warrior two. Line it up on this side. Side angle pose, here or here. always check that knee that you're leaning into, make sure it doesn't drift inward. Inhale back to warrior two. Turn that hand up right into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. So this time in that side angle pose, I want you to lean in, and our other option is to wrap behind, coming into that half bind. This one's a little harder for me, getting my right hand to my left hip. So maybe I can only go kind of behind the back, that's okay. Really open that chest. Take your gaze up if you can. Now, if you can keep the half bind, do that as you come back up and come into that reverse warrior. Getting a cramp. All right, back to our warrior two. Now, we turn to warrior one. Square it up. Tighten up. Again, think ahead. There's a lot that's going to be happening here. We're going to try to step our right foot either to mountain pose and then lift the right knee up, or if you want to push it today, you're going to go from your warrior one. You're going to bring your weight forward. I don't know if I can do it. And bring that right foot off the mat. Bring that knee into the hip. Same thing, you can extend, you can strap, anything that you need to do here. Other transition would be coming to a mountain pose, and then just tightening up and taking that foot up a little bit. Do it in stages, make sure that you can find your balance. Use the wall if you need it. All right, when you come back to mountain pose, just rest. I'm gonna flip back over. Now, we're gonna go into warrior three, with or without support on the hand, all right? If you like it, you can go to a wall and maybe open into balancing half moon if you like. I'm gonna try it here. Don't know what's gonna happen. But remember that it's so important to have the core working and have the torso lined up and strong before you lift that leg up. That's the most important thing. All right, let's start in our mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back. When you're ready, take the arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Now, I want you to start out, you choose which leg you want to work on. Bring the leg up. See, if you're balancing, can you bring those arms up? Can you open it to the side? Sort of, a little bit, right? If it doesn't work, you just come back to the one that did work. Again, however long you want to be there. And then bring the hands down first. Bring the leg down. Round it over and relax. If you need to be upright, you need to get your head above your heart, do that, and then join us again when you're ready. All right, when you're ready, other side, inhale, lift halfway, get it all set up. Take the other leg up. See how the balance feels. Definitely harder for me on this side. I'm not gonna open it, oh, maybe a little bit. I'm gonna go back to the square hips, see if I can hold the balance. And again, bring the hands down, bring the leg down, and then relax. I find that sometimes, for me, like I know which leg is gonna be more challenging at this point, but just having the wall nearby, but not right next to it, I kind of know that I can just reach my fingertips out if I need it, rather than feeling like I've got that whole wall to rely on. So maybe try that if you've been always by the wall. But let's come back to our forward bend here. Let's roll it back up. Roll those shoulders up and back 2 or 3 times. I want you to try to get your hands closer together. If that doesn't happen, again, use your towel or strap. But I really want you to try to pull the arms long, lift the heart, take the gaze up, even coming into a little back bend here. Now, you can keep the hands together as you go into the forward bend or separate whenever you need to. So start out, deep breath in, exhale, forward bend, here we go. Allow those arms to slowly drop up and over if you can, and then just carefully separate them. Come a little deeper. Inhale, halfway lift last time. Exhale, forward bend, and then just make your way back to a plank slowly. Inhale when you get there. Exhale, lower all the way down. And just turn your head to one side. Bring the arms long, tops of the feet here. All right. We're going to come into locust or dragonfly, whatever you like to call it. We're going to start out with just a half lift, everybody. So what I want you to do is when we're lifting the upper body on this one, I want you to, as hard as you can, push the tops of your feet into the mat. Really make those muscles in the feet work a little bit. All right, so here we go. Arms are long. Now contract the belly. Think of lifting from between your shoulder blades, not your lower back. As you inhale, the forehead and chest come up. We start to reach those fingertips back, and again, really push your feet into the mat as you lift the chest. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Now don't look directly in front of you. See how my neck looks? Lengthen it and look kind of a foot or so in front of the mat. Take a breath in, exhale, lower. Wherever you are, I want you to try to turn your head the opposite way. So we're gonna do it 2 more times. Upper body only, we already did. You can do upper and lower body. You can do hands clasping behind us as we lift up. And then even one more option, if you wanna go into your bow pose, hands and knees together. We didn't really warm up for that, but if it's something you've been doing, feel free to throw that one in there. But we've got 2 more tries, so you can gradually build or just do whatever you want. Here we go. Second try. Tighten up the belly. Inhale, lifting up. Again, maybe starting to add some of those other elements here. Neck long, lots of energy. When you're ready to lower, you want to inhale while you're up and exhale, lower back down. Again, just trying to alternate which ear you've got to the mat each time, letting the neck stretch out equally, although I'd always turn to the camera. That's not very equal. All right, third time. Rest a little bit longer if you need to. If you're ready, forehead to the mat. If you're going to try that bow pose, get into position. Make sure the legs stay parallel. Inhale, lift up. You can always rest in between if you need to. I haven't done this one in a while. When you're ready to lower, let the arms and legs relax. Even if you didn't do the bent knees one, let's just roll those legs like windshield wipers. Feels really good across the front of the legs. Just for everything that we've been working on today. All right. And then legs go down, hands go under the shoulders. Take a breath in. Exhale, push back to child's pose. All right, when you have had enough of a rest, I want you to switch it around and extend your legs in front. Bring a block nearby if you have one. We're gonna do a little elevated bridge pose before we do Savasana. But for now, let's extend those legs forward, All right. Make sure you feel like you're rooted evenly onto the mat. Take the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. So really extend forward before you go down. Feel free to use that strap at any point. Whatever helps you get there. All right, ease out of that. Now you can either roll to your side and get on your back, or you can bend the knees and roll down. Take some time, come all the way down. Again, we're gonna do a couple things here before we run out of time. Let's start out with a real easy twist. We're gonna do quite a few with both legs, and then we're gonna do a single leg. Do we have time for that? Yeah, we do. All right, get the feet parallel to each other. Make sure the toes point straight ahead, no angle in that foot. Open the arms a little bit. So the first couple is going to be just one breath per movement before we stay a little bit longer. So we're going to start with a breath in. The exhale, we drop the knees to the right. Do not bring them together. Let them be apart. Feel the stretch. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, drop the knees the other way. And inhale, back up. So just as a reminder, when we keep the knees and feet apart like this, when you drop one way, you're on the outside edge of the one foot, the inside edge of the other. Your hips and knees are not stacked at all. And it just allows us to feel that stretch a little bit differently on the inner thigh, the outside of the hip. So let's do that one more time. And we're gonna breath per movement. Inhale first. Exhale, knees go to the right to see how far they can go, and when you're done with that. And then inhale, bring them back up. And exhale, drop them to the left. And inhale, back up. So this time we'll stay a little longer. Inhaling here. Exhale, drop them all the way over. And just hold that. So see if you don't have to push it down, but just see if gravity will start to pull them a little further down. So maybe you're completely on the outside of that right leg. The left knee is still above the mat. Of course, I kind of feel like it's right above my right heel, if that makes sense. I'm going to turn my head the other way. Again, only do that if it feels good on your neck. All right, bring the knees up, inhale. Exhale, drop them the other way. And again, we're just going to stay here a little bit longer. And inhale, bring those knees up. All right. Bringing the feet together now. So you can have the legs touching, feet touching. A little bit gentler variation is going to be if you keep the feet on the mat and maybe even move them off center left before you go right. Now the next level is just going to be with the feet and off the mat. And this is definitely a deeper twist. So if you're ready for that, that's fine too. We're going to do two more to each side with the legs together, so you can even progress from feet on the mat to feet off. But whenever you're ready, take a nice deep breath in, drop those knees all the way right. Inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale, drop your knees left. And inhale, bring the knees up. We've got one more set, right and left. So again, maybe bringing the feet off if you haven't tried that one yet. You can even cross the legs if that's something that feels good on your twist. Breath in, exhale, go all the way right. Again, really working. I'm having a harder time with this left shoulder, so I'm bringing my arm a little bit lower. believe it or not, I think that my shoulder hurts because I had to sleep on one side after my hip surgery. Crazy. All right, inhale, bring the knees up. Exhale, going to the left. This is our last twist with both legs. And then we'll just do a quick single leg before we move on. And back up. So go ahead and pull that left knee into your chest and extend the right leg down. And again, now we're just going to do the single leg twist. Whenever you're ready, you're inhaling. Exhale, you're going to pull that knee up and across. And again, you can support the leg if that helps you. Now, as we come out of that, come onto your back. Let's add our thread the needle stretch before we do the other side. So left foot to the right knee. Option to bring that foot off the mat. If not, you can just push that knee out. All right, let's uncross, hug the knees in. Now we'll keep that right knee pulled in as we stretch our left leg all the way down. As soon as you're ready, inhale here, exhale, pull the right knee across to the left. And on your back, right foot across the left knee, same thing. All those options always available. All right, uncross those legs, knees in. Last time, rolling the back a little bit. Let's bring the feet up and flex and point the feet a couple times. Circle the ankles a few times each way. Now, as we're getting ready for that Savasana, if you want to try it, because I'm going to give you time to do it, we're going to do our supported bridge pose. So, bring the feet to the mat, lift your hips up, and bring the block horizontally across the lower, not the back, but right below the lower back. Again, you know what the back of the pelvis looks like? It's a pretty flattened kind of a plate. You want to find that it feels pretty comfortable. And then we can keep our feet here. We can bring our feet wider apart. We can extend the legs long. I like this one because it really helps to stretch my hips. We can even bring the feet together, knees opening into that butterfly position. And again, once you're here, position that block a couple different ways until you find something really comfortable. It shouldn't be uncomfortable on the tailbone. It shouldn't feel like your tailbone's hanging down. So from kind of like the tailbone to right below the lower back is where I find the most comfortable. So just go ahead, come into that supported bridge pose, whatever you like. And if you don't like it, you can do a regular bridge pose, or you could just go ahead and extend the legs long and get ready for Savasana, because we're not going to be here that long. Arms are going to go a little higher than the shoulders. So we're just trying to let all these tight joints start to relax before we completely get into that Savasana. How are we doing here? Good, we're doing okay. So already trying to reconnect with that really focused breathing. You can stay here however long you like. You can even do your Savasana in it. I think it's okay to do it for part of the time, but then I also think it's good to get completely grounded during your Savasana. So you can move that block out if you're ready. Extend the legs nice and long. If you want to do a full body stretch to get there, do that. Arms overhead, inhale, exhale, and getting into that comfortable position. And let your eyes close. Let your mind just kind of stay clear. You're just thinking about taking a breath in and letting that exhale go. Check in with the body. Make sure that you have released tension. You're not holding it anywhere. even in the face, the jaw, the brain, right? We have so many things that we're always trying to, or that we're trying to do and think about. So just let it go for another minute. Well, I don't know why that's happening, guys. I apologize. Something's going off, even with my. Sorry about that, but I guess it's time to start bringing our focus back. Oh. So start to breathe a little bit more normally. Move the fingers and toes a little bit. Oh, sorry, it's another device going off. It is not mine. All right. Make your way out of that when you're ready. If you're really somehow still enjoying Savasana, feel free to stay there. I'm just going to bring my hands to my heart and just say namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm gonna turn the camera off now and come back to my people. So unmute if you like.